Hello, everyone, and welcome to another beer review. And Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you had a wonderful night last night and got stuck right in there, got a good swally. And I hope nobody's ended up in hospital, because that can happen quite easily. On New Year's Eve or Hogmanay, especially in Scotland, the amount of people that do end up in hospital, they're a little bit too much of the happy juice and that type of stuff, and wee accidents happen and things like that. In fact, I remember my next door neighbour, he set his back fence on fire in Hogmanay because somebody brought fireworks and decided to nail this Catherine wheel to his back fence, and it went really bad. It went really awry very quickly, and that was it. We're all wasting beer. But it's alright, it was only Scottish shitty fucking tenants wasting beer and that type of stuff, putting that, which was quite good because we actually found a use for tenants that night. And actually made it kind of more valuable and worthwhile actually having it in the house. So there you go. Yeah, it's good for putting out your back fence to some arsehole sets on fire with Catherine wheel. But anyway, I'm digressing. So this is the first beer review of today. So this is going to be just a little quick one. I wasn't really planning to do these ones. Unfortunately, I got them as a gift. I'm not saying unfortunately. I'm happy I got them as a gift, but unfortunately, I got them as a gift, and that's why I'm doing them as little kind of extras on certain days. So this is the last of the Hawkstone ones. So this is the Hawkstone Session Lager. So it is. Hopefully it'll be better than the last two we've had. So this is a 4%. There is some spiel in the back, but I've read it so many times. So there's just a one little paragraph that actually covers this beer. The rest of it's the same old Willy pish that we're putting on every other bottle. So it says, our session lager is light-bodied with delicate notes of elderflower, citrus, and a sweet malt finish. Oh God, no citrus again, for God's sake. That's 3 in a row they've had citrus. I mean, they did a normal premium lager, which was fine. It was not a bad lager, actually. Bit pricey and not enough of it for it to get a particularly good mark. But yeah, flavour profiles and everything else were okay, fine, not a problem. Then we did the Pilsner, and the Pilsner was a disaster because all it tasted was a grapefruit, which of course, that's not a normal flavour profile for Pilsner. And there was nothing there to kind of identify as a Pilsner apart from there was just grapefruit. Then we did the IPA, which was strange enough, it was grapefruit, but didn't actually have any more kind of a grapefruit really than the Pilsner, and didn't really have a bitter finish, and just overall was just a bit too sweet as well. So now we got this one, and it's going to be bloody grapefruit. Seriously, for God's sake, Jeremy Clarkson, you know, have your grapefruit for your breakfast. You know, don't sink your teeth into a blood orange. This nonsense. But anyway, let's see what it's like. Probably grapefruit. Well, geez. Glad when this festive series is over. I'm telling you, I've got one more beer review, and then that's it for this year, or last year, or this festive season. Because of course it's 2024, but this is supposed to be 2023. But yeah, it hasn't gone particularly well. I'm sick of basically drinking crappy beers. I really am. And some of the ones were actually bought kind of half suspecting they were going to be crappy, and other ones were bought kind of expecting them to be something a bit better. And well, yeah. Anyway, let's pour it out. Jesus. There we go. Oh, it's quite fizzy, that one. So, okay, there we go. Try and look interested. Look, I'll show you my interesting face. As in, that's a face you would be able to see when I'm actually thinking. Is that right? Yeah. Expect me to believe that. I use that face quite a lot when I'm basically reading back labels of bottles of beer. But anyway, let's see what it smells of. Grey. There's no smell of citrus, no smell of grapefruit. No real smell of anything apart from just a little bit of grain, not even malt. It's very kind of generic, kind of slightly grain smell, and that's it. Nothing. So there you go. So let's see what it tastes like. Right. Well, I'm happy because there isn't really any citrus there. I don't know what we're talking about, so there's no citrus there. So, it is light. It is very light. I don't know if they can get elderflower. I'm not getting elderflower right now. I might get it later. I don't know what's happened to my ear. I don't know if I caught it or not, or if it's bleeding or not. I don't know. I don't know. See, my mum's not here anymore, so she could be her catching me by the boom lug hole and dragging me off because I've done something bad. Not that I've actually stopped doing bad things. Anyway. But yeah, it's very light. Is it watery? Not quite, no. It's got a little bit of body to it that's stopping it giving that kind of slightly watery effect on the palate. But it is quite light and it is kind of very light in the flavours. There isn't much flavours there at all. It's more of a, this beer's more of a, how would you say? It's more of a mouthfeel. That's probably the best way of putting it. It's more mouthfeel than flavour. Your mouth's telling me that, yeah, you've got something in there. And the taste bud's saying, have we? And the mouth's like, yes, there's definitely something in there. Can you taste something? No? Are you sure? It's like that. We kind of dialogue going between the two. And the tongue's like saying, do I really need to be here for this? Can I not go somewhere else? I'm sure there's a window I can lick, or a pot I could be licking, or something, or a spoon I could be licking. Seriously. Let's make a session lager. What does it taste of? Nothing. But you'll feel as if you've got something in your mouth, especially if it's cold. Temperature's a big giveaway. God, seriously. There's light grainy tones. A little bit of light sweetness. Strange enough, this has got less sweetness than the IPA. The IPA had more sweetness. So again, a bit strange. You know what it does taste like? It just tastes a bit like they've taken the premium lager and kind of diluted it a bit. That's what it feels like. For people in the podcast, it is a very kind of light, clear, kind of very light straw coloured beer head. Because it's in nucleated glass, I would probably say about half a finger to a finger max head. But yeah, it's a bit gassy as well. The elderflower, no, I'm not getting elderflower. I'm just getting grain. I'm not even really getting malt so much. I'm getting a bit of malt, but it's mostly just all grey. There's no bitterness there. There's nothing. It's very kind of, well, I know it's a session lager and things like that, and it's supposed to be kind of light and delicate, but Very one-dimensional. If you don't like the taste of grain, it might not be for you. But don't worry, there isn't that much of a taste of grain, so I'm sure you could probably go with it. If you like the taste of citrus, then don't bother. If you like the taste of elderflower, then don't bother. It also says it's supposed to have a sweet malt finish. Is that right? I wouldn't say the finish is any sweeter than anything else. I don't even say it's that sweet in the first place. So I'm struggling to really distinguish any real kind of major flavours because you start off at the front of the mouth, getting very little bit of malt, a bit of grain, and you're also then getting a very light sweetness, very light, almost like an accent, and that's what you're getting. Move on to the kind of mid-term, and the kind of malt kind of dies down a bit. The sweetness, well, it's slightly overshadowed because you're just getting more grain flavours. That's all you are. You're just getting slightly kind of barley flavours. That's all you're getting. You're not really getting anything more than that. And then it moves on to the aftertaste. It's a very clean finish. I mean, just everything just dissipates, just melts away very, very quickly. So it does. I mean, I think what it reminds me of as a flavour finish and is like a communion wafer. you know, and it just melts away and there's not really any flavour to it. That's what the finish is like in this. It's like sucking on a communion wafer. That's it. So yeah. What would I give this out of 10? I mean, I've tasted better session beers and especially session lagers. And I've tasted normal lagers that are very sessionable and more enjoyable and something more interesting. I mean, this, even though it's a session beer, I would struggle to actually have a session on it because I get bored of it very, very quickly. It's like the liquid equivalent of cardboard. That's what it's like. Just uneventful, really. Which is fine if you want a beer, if you're like, say, at a party or a barbecue or something like that, and you just want a kind of neutral beer just for people to kind of hold in their hand and drink and everything else, and not really kind of be offensive in any way and just kind of work with lots of different palates, then yeah, I could see this maybe working. But I don't think anybody, if they had glasses of this, would think, "Oh, this is lovely." Oh, well, I'm sure they probably would be. But I think people who actually like, if you're an ale drinker, you would think, no, you're not getting ales. I should have brought my own. You know, it'd be like that situation. Well, it would be from my point of view. You would be thinking, I mean, it is just lacking flavour. It's lacking quite a lot of things, but just lacking flavour. Yeah, but and the thing is, though, it's not even kind of watery. I mean, it's very light that it's not that far away, but there's still just enough body there to stop it having that kind of slightly kind of watery feel to it in the mouth. But there's no crispness, there's no dry finish, there's just no nothing. It's just a very kind of light generic beer that's just very inoffensive and lacks flavour and lacks a decent or interesting finish. It's just, I mean, it's like meh in a bottle. So what would I give it out of 10? There's a question. Good start to the new year, isn't it? First review of the new year, and it's like, meh, in a bottle. Oh God, seriously. Hope to God this isn't an omen of things to come, of the year ahead. What would I give it out of 10? For the price and everything else, it was just lacking. It's overpriced, underflavoured, and overhyped. I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2 because it's inoffensive and it's not watery. For a session beer or a session lager, you better be careful because obviously you can just dial it back a bit too much. So it gets 2. It can't get anything for the bottle because it's a 330ml bottle. So seriously, price-wise, I'm not really sure. I'm sure it's probably less than the £28 that they normally charge for 12 bottles. So you probably find this is probably down to about kind of 24, 25. But I'll put the details down in the beer facts. So yeah, 2 out of 10. I can't give it any more than that. It's just it's very uneventful, really. I mean, after the pour, I think that the best part of it is probably the pour. You pour it out, not a bad head, everything else, especially in the glass that they provide with it. Because if you haven't noticed, as part of this kind of Christmas pack, you've got 2 basically glasses, 2 nucleated glasses, a half pint and a pint. And if you pour it obviously in the half pint, it gives you a nice head and foam and everything else, which is more to do with the glass than really the beer. But yeah, that's it. So that's the big kind of crescendo of the whole event, is pouring it. After that, it goes downhill. So yeah, 2 out of 10. First review of the year. Not a particularly good one. But anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers. And bye for now.